database. So if you have configured transactional replication in your environments, then it will be easy for you to understand this. Otherwise, if you are coming for the first time to see how the replication is going to work, then ideally this is not the right session for you guys. You should have experience with respect to configuring transactional replication, at least on premises. So you are aware of the agents, the jobs, the roles that comes into picture, everything. Otherwise, it's little difficult to understand. Okay, so when it comes to managed instance, as you can see here, inside the Microsoft documentation page, I could see only two types of flavors. Okay, so one, they are saying MI pub to MI subscriber, manage instance publisher to manage instance subscriber, and manage instance publisher and manage instance distributor. Means by looking at this, I can say that manage instance can act like a publisher, can also act like a subscriber, can also act like a distributor. Is it not? As you can see here, MI pub means manage instance publisher, manage instance subscriber, manage instance distributor. So MI can play the role of publisher, distributor, and subscriber all together. Unlike Azure SQL, you cannot play the role of publisher or distributor. It can only act as a subscriber. But whereas MI, it can act in any role. As you know, we have three roles: publisher, distributor, and subscriber. So this article is talking about configuring managed instance as a publisher, configuring managed instance as a distributor, and the SQL Server will be on-prem or Azure VM. So configuring SQL Server as a subscriber or Azure SQL database, you can configure anything. So this is one of the articles what we have, and the next article is configuring managed instance as replication publisher and distributor, and configuring managed instance as the replication subscriber. So here managed instance is itself is acting like a publisher and distributor, and one more managed instance is acting like a subscriber. Means there is one important class when it comes to managed instance. When you are configuring replication on managed instance, what you have to remember is managed instance. If you want to configure transaction replication in managed instance, my managed instance should have both publisher and distributor together. I cannot have managed instance. I mean, let me show you that class. There is that line. It says, it talks about where we're gonna configure, how to configure, and what is the what are the prerequisites and the important step. Important thing is your publisher and distributor should be on MI. Okay, that is the important thing. That is what we should keep in our mind. Okay, again, I'm repeating, we should configure publisher and distributor at one place. In simple terms, publisher and distributor should be at one place. If you're configuring publisher in, say, for example, if you're configuring publisher in on-prem, MI in distributor, and MI as subscriber, it won't work. Okay, publisher and distributor should sit together. Means there are only two chances for us now. One is, if you see here, okay, I have one more link. I will talk about that. Oh, sorry. Okay, this is the architecture. If you see here, a SQL Server database on premises or Azure VM, a database in Azure. Okay, this is what we have, and this is the complete diagram. And these are the roles as I described just before: publisher, distributor, and we have two types of subscribers. One who worked on transaction application, you know that we have pull and push. So Azure SQL Managed Instance can act in any one of the roles. Okay, so I have three different kinds of configuration. So publisher with local distributor on SQL Managed Instance, means publisher and distributor will sit on one managed instance. This is one scenario, and the on-premises is subscriber. Subscriber is my on-premises or Azure VM or Azure SQL. It can be anything, but publisher and distributor are sitting at one place, and both are configured with MI. publisher and distributor should be MI. Second case, publisher with remote distributor means I have two managed instance with my subscription. So one managed instance will act as publisher and one managed instance will act as distributor. This is second scenario. And the third scenario is our managed instance would act like a subscriber. Okay, so publisher and distributor are sitting on premises and my managed instance will act like a subscriber. What I am talking about is you cannot have publisher in on-prem, you cannot you cannot have publisher in on-prem and distributor in MI and one more subscriber in MI or Azure SQL, whatever it is. So your publisher and distributor should be MI. That is what I am trying to convey here. Publisher and distributor should be MI. Got it? Questions? You are most welcome. No questions? Clear?
Clear.
Okay, so this is something different from on-premises, guys. In on-premises, usually we can configure anything. I can have my on-prem publisher, I can have my on-prem distributor, anything is possible. When it comes to Azure SQL, just remember, guys, you cannot configure publisher or distributor with Azure SQL. It can only act like a subscriber. But when it comes to MI, just keep in mind, publisher and distributor should be MI. You cannot have the mix of on-prem publisher and MI distributor or on-prem distributor and MI's publisher. It's not possible. Publisher and distributor should be MI, or it can act like a subscriber. That is the only thing that you have to remember. And these are all the supported versions of distributor and subscriber. If you see, my support is there from 2008 R2, right? If you see, everything is being supported. It's very much possible. But one thing you have to remember, make sure that there is one clause in replication. I don't know how many of you are aware. Distributor should not be greater than or equal to publisher should not be greater than or equal to distributor version. That is one. There is one class that we can see later. So I'm going to show you my setup, what I have, and I'm going to show you how to configure the replication. Okay, so I don't have two managed instance because we have only two articles with on a Microsoft documentation. One is both the MIs. I mean to say publisher and distributor as MI and subscriber as MI. This is one document what I have, and this is one more documentation what we have for managed instance where publisher is MI and I have different managed instance for distributor and I have my subscriber. But I don't have multiple managed instances, so my scenario falls into this category. This one, I have only one managed instance, and that one managed instance should act like a publisher and distributor. It should act like both. Got it? Questions? Okay, no questions. So I'm assuming you are fine. I have one mission already created here. It is in the same VNet to that of managed instance. So I'm connecting to that mission. So this mission, as we are operating on the MI, we don't have the operating system. Okay, so I have to connect to one of the missions and then we need to configure. It's not possible to configure. It's not possible to connect, right? As you know. So I'm picking up this VM. Okay, we are into mission, virtual mission, and let me connect to SSMS. So first I would like to try with Azure MI to act like a subscriber because that is the easiest option. And we have publisher and distributor. This mission will act like a publisher and distributor. My on-prem, I mean to say this Azure VM, and Azure MI will act like a subscriber. So that will be my first scenario. So once we are done with that configuration, so I will, what can I say? I can reverse the roles means MI will act like a publisher and distributor and this guy will act like a subscriber. So that's how we're gonna perform this. Since we don't have the operating system, again, remind guys, this is not like our regular on-premises stuff. This is something different. You have to remember that. People might think it is same, but it's not same. Just wait for it. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the meanwhile. Okay, so it's starting now, and this is my mission, guys. SQL test pass VM is my mission, and I'm just entering my password for this mission. Yeah, so this will act like publisher and distributor in the first scenario, and my managed instance will act like subscriber now. Where is this? This one. This is my MI. If you see, MI is almost having similar functionalities to that of our on-premises regular SQL Server, guys. The only options that are missing are, I mean, to say the icons at least, the polybase and always on. So those two things are not appearing. Rest all looks almost same. Okay, so let's try to configure the replication now. So I don't have the distribution database also. Yesterday night I was working on this, so I removed everything. Nothing is there here, and even if you see, so nothing is there. So it's a fresh copy what I have. Okay, so and I can pick this database or this database. I will pick replication one test for the moment. So first configure the distribution database, right? First I have to configure the distribution database and I have to do all these things. So first step is configure the distribution. So this server will act as its own distributor. Yes, this is not remote distributor that I'm going to create. This is local distributor. That's true. Next. So this is my snapshot folder. Ripple data, I'm not changing it. I'm keeping as is. And this is the distribution database name. It is going into F drive and G drive. Since we are configuring it on VM, we have the provision, we can choose the file locations. But if you are doing it in MI, you don't have that option because we don't have the control on the underlying operating system. That's the difference. But since we are on VM now, we have that luxury, and I'm choosing F drive and G drive for my paths. And now I have to choose the publisher. So I'm saying, yes, this server will act like the publisher also. Okay, and click on next, configure the distribution. That's it. So now the distribution database is going to get created on my Azure VM. It's done. So if I go now, if I refresh it, I have my distribution database. Fine. So let's configure the publication now. So I'm here, no publications, nothing. So new publication. I will use this one, Ripple one test. It's going to be my database. Just for your information, guys, Azure Managed Instance will support only snapshot, transactional, and transactional bidirectional. It doesn't support peer-to-peer or merge. So let me go to the tables. I have one table. I'm just choosing one table. This is just demo, guys. So I don't want to go much deeper. So I just wanted to show you how to configure because there is not much content available on the internet. So I'm picking up this table, and this is for filtering. We don't need any filtering now. I'm creating the snapshot immediately. And all my service accounts, sorry, all my agents, I will get 3 agents, as you know. One is snapshot, the other one is log reader, and the last one is distributor agent. So I'm configuring the agents to run with service account of this mission. Okay, click on next. And lastly, I need to pass the publication name. So I will say demo publication. And that's it. We are done. So once this gets created, I need to create the subscriber finally. Yeah, everything got created. Looks fine. So I have to create the subscriber now. So my subscriber is MI, right? My subscriber is going to be MI. So for that, click on replication. Sorry, click on subscriptions, new subscription. Next. So my publisher is my VM. As you can see, next. So it is asking me to choose the agent location. So we have two types of agents, two types of what can I say, agents. Yeah, not agents. The subscription can be placed at push. We call two types of subscription. One is push and pull. If the distributor agent runs in the same location to that of distributor, then it is called push. And if you are placing it remotely, then it is called pull. So for the moment, I'm just going with defaults where the agent will be running on my VM. Okay, so it is push subscription that I'm opting with. So yes, this is not this one. Subscriber is my managed instance, this one. Yeah, and I have to choose the database. So I'm just choosing one of the databases by name test4. And before that, I have to show you one thing. What is that inside my table, right? I have to show you that. Let me show you. Select start from, even I forgot what are the tables. I think it is test triple, if I'm not wrong. How to identify only the user defined tables, not the system tables. So I have only one user table.
Table type.
Yeah, we can use table type, or you can say MS shipped. Means if Microsoft ships the table, if they are creating the tables, it will be one. If we are creating the tables, it will be zero. Anyways, anything is fine. So let me show you the records what I have. Select start from test triple. I have, I think, around 100 rows here. So let me find the same query in my subscriber end, just to show you that contents are not there. Okay, I will delete this. Truncate table test ripple. Okay, nothing is there, so it is empty. So now these 100 rows should appear on my subscriber side once we create the subscription. So yes, this is test4, yes, and click on next. And what is the location, how we should connect to the distributor and subscriber. So my distributor agent, since I opted with push, I can use service account. And since I need to connect to my subscriber is MI, so I have to pass the SQL authentication. I will type somewhere here because my password is little lengthy. Anyways, I'm going to delete the MI. So even if someone notices my password, it's fine. Okay, so click on OK. Next. So this is the location, as we are seeing agent location at the distributor. Since we opted for push, click on next. We don't need any memory optimized stuff. We don't need to do anything. And click on next, finish. So once this subscription gets created, let's watch out if the replication is happening between them or not. So I'm clicking on replication monitor. And this is what I have, SQL test pass VM. If you want, I will delete and I will show it from the scratch. Remove, remove. Nothing is there now. So I need to add my publisher. So my publisher is SQL Server VM. So this one. Okay, click on OK. We are seeing some errors. Let's see that. So first see whether the snapshot agent got created. Yes, it got created and it is working fine. Or else let's first run the agent and see, because I think last time it got created 920, so it should be fine. Let's see the errors on distributor agent side. It's just saying, okay, it got into uh, running state and no latency, nothing is there. So let's see if the rows are appearing on my subscriber side. I just truncated the table in front of you, and now the rows are appearing. Let's try to insert few rows and see if the rows are getting inserted onto subscriber end. Any questions, guys? Where is that variable I, right? Begin insert table name is test triples. I'm inserting another 99 rows. That's it. Please set no count on, otherwise it will show that messages. Okay, let's run this. It's done now. If you see now, I should have 199 rows, as you can see, and it should appear here also 199 rows. So the rows are triggering from publisher to subscriber. So my MI subscriber is working fine. If you have any questions, you can stop me, or else I will continue with the next scenario. Clear or confusion? Come on, guys, you can talk. If you don't, then I assume it's working fine and I will move on. So, okay, someone's said clear. Okay, fine then. So I will do one thing. I will just stop the screen share. I can create one scenario if you want, or else I will just go ahead with the other configuration. Okay. Let's do one thing. I will just stop the screen share because I just wanted to show you scenarios. So once you know the scenario, you will get good hands-on. I mean to say, you will understand better the concepts. If I just show you how it works, it will be easy since I have done the homework from my end. It will be straight away. It will be cakewalk for me. But for you, if you want to troubleshoot, it will be not that easy. So I'll stop the screen share just for a second, and I will do one thing from my end. And you guys have to figure out if something goes wrong. This is simple scenario, but still, I just wanted to see if you're able to find that. Okay, so I've done something from my end. Let me start the screen share again. And now let's see. Let's add one more table and see if that works. Create table dummy serial number int primary key. We need a primary key for transactional replication. So, and let's insert some rows into this table. It is dummy. Okay, so let's see what are the rows what I have on the dummy table. Select start from dummy. Yeah, we have 99 rows. Good. So now let's try to add this table into replication. So the one what I'm showing is not the right way to add the table into replication, guys. We should not do this in real time. But since this is demo, I'm okay to do this. I'm going to articles and I'm adding it from the GUI, but we should not do this in real time because we have so many tables already configured. And if you do like this, you have to create one more snapshot. And if once you create the snapshot, it will log the tables. So it's not the right way, but since this is demo, I'm picking this. So dummy, I'm just adding that, adding the dummy. Okay. And I have to create the new snapshot now, because as I said, I'm not using the right approach. And let's go to the agents, and I'm going to start the snapshot agent for the new table what I have created. And let me refresh, and let's hopefully, okay, dummy got inserted. We can keep, yes, in real time. Yeah, we should do allow anonymous and immediate sync. I'm not going to touch that. So let's go here, and it says something critical, something. It looks like it got delivered. I did something, but I, sometimes the demos will not work as expected. It's fine. So let's see, select star from dummy on the subscriber side. Okay, the rows are appearing fine. So what I did from my end is I just tried to remove the permissions on the Ripple data for my agent account. I removed it, but somehow it may take some time, or it may affect in the new publication. It might not affect on the existing. It might affect me on the new publication. So I just removed the agent from here. If you see my service accounts, they're running with default accounts. This is not domain joined machine. These are NT service agent and all. So I just removed the permissions for this account on that share, but still it is working fine. So probably I suspect we need to create new publication, so that that will cause some errors. But since I'm just creating a new table, it's working fine. So it's okay. I mean, it's not a great thing. So I will move on. So for me to move on, I have to disable the replication, entire thing I have to delete. So let me do that. So I have to delete the subscriber first. Let me refresh. Deleting the subscriber. Yes, it is equal. Okay, and I'm deleting the publisher. You will get some error saying only one log reader agent would run at a time and all. You can ignore it, no problem. You'll get that now. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Only one log regent or procedure would come into picture. It's okay, fine. If you see, if I refresh it, it will not appear. It's gone. So I have to disable the distribution database and disable the publication and all. So for that, I have to choose the replication and click on disable publishing and this thing. So yes, I have to disable publishing on this server. So it will remove the distribution database also. Just wait for it. Once it gets finished, you will not see this. System databases, refresh, it's gone. So nothing is there. So we are back to the first stage, initial stage, where we don't have anything here. And even just if I just refresh this, and if I go to the replication subscription, nothing is there. Fine. So now the other way around, I want my managed instance to act like my publisher and distributor, and this guy will act like my subscriber. Questions, guys? So I'm just moving on. So hopefully, if everything is clear, I will move on. Okay, so I assume that no questions. So now I have to configure the replication on MI. So how to do this now? So let's follow a few of the steps what they have written, and I will show you. So as I said, we don't have the steps to configure this setup, guys. We have two documents. One says configure the publisher on MI and configure the distributor on MI and subscriber on VM. I don't have two manage instances with my account. So this is what I have. I have to configure publisher and distributor both together on my MI. Okay, so but I don't have any documentation to refer that. So I have to carry it on my own. So let's go on. Since I don't have any documentation, yesterday I configured myself, but I'll show you the steps. So they are saying first create the resource group. Anyways, we have the resource group, and they are saying to create two managed instances. I cannot create two. I will have only one. So you have to leave out that part. And the important part is snapshot agent, where it keeps the files. in the snapshot location, right? In the previous situation, in my previous scenario, since I am on the VM, I placed my snapshot files on this location, C colon ripple data. I mean the default location. Of course, in real time, we will not make use of C drive, but since this is demo, it's accepted. So I kept here. Since we don't have the operating system on MI, where should I keep my snapshot folder? That is the question. You can talk now if you have any questions, because this is different, guys. From here, it differs. It's not the same thing. Again, I'm repeating, we are on MI. We don't have the operating system. So where should I keep my files? I'm talking about snapshot location.
Are you using any blob storage?
Yeah, I have to use storage account for that. So without without having storage account, it's not possible for me to configure replication, right? So for that, what they are saying is you have to create the storage account and you have to create the file share path. Okay, file share path. It's not the blob. We have to use file share. Let me go to the storage accounts, what I have. And this is my storage account name. And this is my file shares. So I've created one yesterday. So I'm going to delete this now. And I'll show you from the scratch. Delete this share. It's deleted. So I have to create the file share. Let me go now and let me refer the documentation. So yeah, they are saying create the storage account and create one folder and copy the storage access keys from that location. So it will look like this. So let me create the steps and I will talk about that. Sorry, create the file share. So I'll name this as Ripple share. Okay, so Ripple share, I'll dock this to top. Create. It got created successfully. Fine, good. So now I have to go to the storage account access keys. Okay, I have to go here. So for that, let me go to the storage account and storage access keys. This is the one. So they are saying copy this here from here. Okay, so I'm clicking on this show and have to copy this location. So I'll copy here so that it will be easy for us to identify. Oh, copy. Okay, this is my key. Okay, we don't need key. We just need the connection string because they are saying to copy the connection string. So it will appear like this. Default endpoint protocol is HTTPS account name and blah blah blah. But I'm just showing you all the things. Show copy. So this is what we should copy, and this key eventually will appear here also in the connection string. So I will remove this, but I just wanted to show you. That's why I'm showing it to you. And the other thing is we have to copy the location storage account name dot file dot core dot windows dot net slash file share name. So this is how it appears. So let me copy this, copy, and go to the top and copy this. But my storage account name is pass mi storage. So that is my storage account now. Copy this and replace this here. Okay, this is how it looks. Any storage account, whatever you create, guys, it will be storage account name dot the type of the storage account. We can create three or four, I think, four different types of storage accounts: blob, file, queues. So there are a few. I think there are another two more. So we are creating the file share here. That's why the name is appearing like file dot storage account dot file type. So we're getting file dot core dot windows dot net slash the folder name. So this will store my snapshot related stuff. Okay, so any questions? Can I move on? So this is what we should do. We just need to create the folder and we have to copy the endpoint connection string for the storage account. Once we are done, it's fine. We can configure the replications right away. It's not of much deal, but these are the steps. If you see here, first he is creating the publisher database. We are already created the publisher database. We can leave that part. And this is the subscriber database. Okay, so we have created that already. So I'm ignoring this also. See the steps to configure distribution. So since we have to create, I have only one MI, guys. This guy is showing this tutorial where he is selecting publisher and distributor, sorry, this one, publisher on one MI and distributor on another MI. I don't have such facility. So I have to configure both MI, sorry, both publisher and distributor on the same MI. Okay. So I have to choose this step now, configure distribution. So I'm saying this server, see, I'm passing the server name. So that means my MI will act like a distributor here. And I have to configure the publisher using this script. Okay, you can use GUI also, but I am using this scripts because this is easy to configure and we can pass on few things here. Okay, I can pass the username, password, everything. So I'm using these scripts to configure the distribution database and publisher to distributor setup, everything what you have seen initially. Can I move on? If you have any questions, you can ask me. See, if the session is interactive, it will be good for me and for you guys. So if you sit silently, it will not be good. Okay, so I assume no questions. So I'm moving on. So I just created the script last night itself. So I'm going to documents. So this is my script. I'm not going to create this database REPL tran pub. It's already there. So let me show you that. So this is the table. Sorry, this is the database. And we have created this table, REPL test. I'll just show you that. REPL tran pub. And what is that? REPL test, right? So if you see REPL test is here and I have few rows. Let me show you. I think it's 5. So all the 5 rows are here. I'm not going to create that again. So I'm taking off this step and I have to configure the distribution database now, right? So for that, I have to run this script on MI. Copy. And I think we are on MI. That's fine. So this will be the first step. We are adding the distribution database here onto this server. So run this step. So once I create this, it should show me the distribution database. It will create the distribution database behind the scenes. As of now, it is not there. So it will create now. Refresh. Once it gets created, you will come to know. We don't have the operating system, guys. So in MI, if you run these steps, it will create into the locations, into the default locations of what we have. Just wait for it. Yeah. So it created the distribution database and all the tables. So there are so many tables, system tables associated with distribution database. So they are all appearing over here. Okay. So now if I refresh this, refresh and go to system databases, you will see the distribution database. This is the first step. Okay. Once this is done, I have to add the publisher now. I have to inform to the distributor that this server itself will act like a publisher. So this is a step to do that. So this will be add distributed publisher. So this is local publisher and distributor. So I have to copy this step now. Copy this content, copy and go here, new query, paste this, and you have to run this script in SQL CMD mode. Okay, we have to run this in SQL CMD mode, and I will just check if, anyways, since we copied, I think it's better to replace this content here, right? So I just created a new folder. So I will replace this with the content what we created. Delete. I just wanted to double check. Yeah, okay, fine. So let me go here. Yeah, so run this in SQL CMD mode, query, SQL CMD mode. Okay, and run this. Now we are informing to the distributor that this guy will act like a publisher also. That's why we are seeing publisher equal to @ server name. Means this server will now act like the publisher and distributor. So run this step. We are done. And now it's time to create the subscriber and all the things. Okay, so how many of you are good with replication? I will come to know now. Have you observed anything with respect to linked servers when you are configuring replication? This is a question, guys. You have to talk now. Don't sit idle.
No, Vamsi.
So when you are configuring the replication, will you get any linked servers by default? That is the question.
Not sure. I believe yes, maybe.
Someone is pinging over here. Yes. Yes. Okay. So since it is creating the linked server behind the scenes, okay. So let's try to create one linked server on our own and see if that works before creating the subscriber. Okay. Because this is the internal, guys. This is what you should know. This is what differs you from others. Okay. Let me go here. Linked servers. I am just going to drop everything. This is yesterday's thing. Delete. Okay. Delete. Delete. And I will have ripple distributor. It should be there. And rest of other things I'm deleting. Okay. Let's first try to configure a linked server from my managed instance to Azure VM and see if that works first, because there is something internal that you have to understand. So linked server, new linked server, linked server name, let's call it as from MI to VM. Okay. So what will be your source? Your source is the MI, sorry, the managed instance. So sorry, Azure VM. So it will be SQL test pass VM, SQL test pass VM. Okay, and you don't need to pass the catalog. It's fine. We're connecting to master, so it's fine to go ahead. And I'm using the SQL authentication, not even the Windows. Okay. See with my account. Click on OK. And if it works, it's fine. If it doesn't, then you have to tell me why it is not working and what should I do. Because even if you create the subscriber, it will not work, guys, because behind the scenes it is trying to create the linked server and it will not work. That's the reason I'm showing you upfront that how to configure linked server from MI to your VMs. It's not working, guys, as you can see. So what should I do? If you know the answer, let me know. Otherwise I will show you what should be, what I have to do. Again silence.
No idea.
No idea. Okay. Someone is pinging. I'll just wait. No. Okay. So thing is that, guys, this is what I said at the start of the this thing, linked server creation. I will show. I have to show you one thing. If I type IP config/all, okay. If you see here, my mission. Oh, I sorry. This is my mission, guys. This is not anything need to allow from MI. No, no, Sanjeev, not at all. This is what internal is all about. That's what I wanted to show you. Let me go to the top. I'll dock here, and let me go to command prompt or Windows PowerShell. It's not about allowing. It's about the internal DNS. You have to understand the DNS. This happens even in real time also, guys. I'm repeating, this can happen even in real time. Of course, in real time, DNS and Active Directory stuff will be done by your Windows team, so you are happy. But if you want to configure, you have to know all these things. Okay, if you see
Fully
here,
qualified name.
yeah, what will be my fully qualified domain name? What should I pass here?
Internal.cloudapp.net.
Yes, if this mission, since my mission is not part of any domain, you have to pass this. Imagine that if my mission is part of domain, then what should I do? Okay, you okay. For the people who didn't get my question, let me show you. Let me go to the virtual machines, and this is the mission on which I'm working. So this mission is not part of any domain, guys. This is individual mission. Okay, let me show you that first. Dock to the top. This one, computer properties, work group, right? So this mission is not part of any domain. So this is just a work group mission. And why I have to pass internal cloud app.net? Someone said, right? So why I have to do that? It's okay, guys. You can talk. If you don't know, I will answer it anyways. Eventually, I will answer that. So behind the scenes, if your mission is not part of any domains, guys, so it will be associated with default DNS, that is internal.cloudapp.net. Okay, so if this is not the case, you will get your domain name also, something like whatever the domain, what you have, Infosys or Wipro or whatever it is. Since this mission is part of my domain work group, so you are seeing this, you have to add this fully qualified domain name. And one more thing you have to understand, this is what differs you from others. Okay, let me go to the networking, and let me go to the network interface adapter and go to your DNS. So as of now, there is no custom DNS, guys. So this is the default DNS, and that's why you are seeing inherit from virtual network, means Azure. It will take the DNS from Azure itself. So if I go to my machine, and if I go here, if I go to the DNS stuff, you see here DNS service. So it is taking this public IP. By default, it will take this public IP, and this IP has a special role. It's called as wire server IP, and it has significant role to play in Azure. Just so this is what the internal is all about. If you have the custom server, the DNS servers will be different. Since we don't have any custom servers, this mission is part of work group. So my DNS server will be this IP, this public IP. This IP is called as wire server IP, and this is the suffix what I have. So I have to create the linked server with that fully qualified domain name for this to work. Otherwise, it will never work. Okay, so I'm going here. I'm adding that dot internal dot cloud app dot net. Okay, so now if I create the linked server, it should work. That's it. So it worked fine. If you want, we can just test this out. It's absolutely fine. I'm removing this. Why I'm showing all this thing is, if you're configuring the replication, it will create the linked server, and if you don't pass the fully qualified server domain name, it will not work. And if you see the instructions here, on to this two types what we have, two documentation, they didn't mention anywhere about this. Okay, so this is what I understood yesterday. I had some tough time, so I understood the internals, and I created the script that should work on all the servers when it is part of work group. Okay, any questions? If both MI and VM on the same AD, do you need to mention the domain name? Yes, you have to mention the domain name. You have to mention domain name, and there are so many scenarios that comes in real time. Okay, so imagine I have created my mission in the same network to that of MI. Okay, my mission, whatever what I'm working on, this mission is part of same VNet. If your MI and if your SQL is on different VNets, then they have to do lot many things. It's not straightforward. It's not cakewalk. Okay, there are so many things as a DBA we should understand. That's what I said. This MI is not the same to that of our on-premises. There are so many things that are tied with DNS, especially with DNS. Okay, so let me move on. Most of them are silent, so that makes my task easy. And this is my script to do that. And if you see here, target server, I'm clearly mentioning SQL test pass VM dot internal dot cloud app dot net. If you don't pass this, this will never work, guys. Okay, let me copy this entirely and see if this works. And I have to run this script on MI. Again, I have to use SQL CMD mode. Query SQL CMD mode. Yeah, I have set all the variables for this to work as expected. And I have to change the database names just to make sure. Ripple Trans subscriber is the one. Let me go to Ripple Trans subscriber. It is there, and let's see if we have any tables. I have few tables. Do we have the rows here? Yes, we have the rows. I will truncate these rows. Truncate table Ripple test. So there should not be any rows. It's fine. So it is empty, absolutely empty. So now if I run this entire script, it should work as expected. Let's see. Okay, now it got completed, and let's see the replication monitor. I'll close off this one and I'll open a new replication monitor. Replication monitor, yes. My publishers. I will remove this one because this is not the publisher. Remove, and this is the subscriber. Sorry, new publisher. And let's go to the agents, and it says snapshot has been delivered successfully, and my distribution agent also looks good. Ripple test rows, 5 rows got delivered. Let's see that. Let's see it now. Let's connect to the subscriber, which is my VM, and refresh this. Refresh, and let's select again. I just truncated in front of you guys. So I got my 5 rows back again. Means my replication is working fine from MI to VM. Got it? Questions? Oh God. Can I create few scenarios?
How you take the snapshot through script only or manual?
So entire thing is script. With the script, we are doing all these things. If you read the script, first we are adding the database. We are enabling the replication option on that database, and we are setting that publisher property to true. And we are adding the publication name, and this is the publication name. We are getting this from the script, which means published data is my publication name, and I'm creating the log reader agent using my SQL authentication what I have. Okay, and then we are creating the snapshot, and we are adding the articles, we are adding the subscription. Everything is via the script. And at the bottom, if you see, I'm starting the snapshot agent. So everything is via the script. So only thing is, if you don't pass the proper target server name with the proper DNS suffix, it won't work. Sanjeev, sorry, I missed the starting. Which permission required on MI, as we don't have sysadmin on MI? We don't. So it's not about sysadmin, guys. I didn't get you. Can you? Which permission? I didn't talk anything with respect to permissions here, did I?
Sorry, actually, I'm asking general, like which permission we require for configuring the replication.
Okay, replication. See, if you want precise permissions, then I have an article. I will share that article with you. But here I am using the sysadmin permission. So I am the sysadmin, so I am using the sysadmin permission. But you don't require sysadmin for all the things. You need only for few things. If you want, I can share that link. I have written an article, and I can share that with you. Okay, now I will do few things, guys, and you as a DBA, will you be able to troubleshoot it or not? Let's see that. Okay, so if you are okay with the concepts, if not, I will not do that scenario.
Okay.
Let's stop the screen share, and it's not the same thing, guys. There are so many things behind the scenes you have to understand. So that's why I'm repeating again and again. Okay, so let's start the screen share again. If you are a good DBA, you have to troubleshoot the issue what's happening right now. Okay, so it's working fine as of now. So let's try to add one more table to the replication, and let me pick the another table. What we have, I have ripple talk 10. Let me see how many rows are there. Ripple talk, I have one row on the publisher end. So let me delete that one row on the subscriber. Select top 1000 rows. Yeah, one row is there. I will delete that. Truncate table ripple talk. Now it should be empty. And let's try to add that table to replication and see what happens. Articles. I'm not taking Ripple Talk 10. I'm just taking Ripple Talk. Okay, click on OK. And if I go to the replication part now, and I have to show you one thing, guys. Storage accounts. Let me go and let me go to the file shares. So this is the location where I have my snapshot thing. So if you see the UNC folder got created, and this is the data what I have. If I go here, see, I got the same snapshot files that gets created even on on-prem. So all the snapshot related files will be stored into our file share on the storage accounts. So this is how it looks. And now let's go to the monitor, replication monitor, and let's try to create new snapshot and see what happens. Action, refresh, 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 view the details, connecting. It's saying connecting. Somehow it looks like it is taking some time. Failed. It failed with the error, failed to connect to the Azure storage. So as a DBA, what will you do now?
The storage account is accessible for subscriber.
Yeah, storage account should be accessible, but this is MI, right? This is MI. So I cannot log in into the operating system and see what is happening behind the scenes. So what can we do?
Permission removed.
Permissions. I didn't remove any permission.
In the storage account permission.
No, I didn't remove any permission on the storage account. Let me show you. I didn't create any permissions at the storage level. If you see here, I just created the location. That's it.
Vamsi, it's a table definition.
No, not really. File shares. If you want, I will show you one thing, guys. File share, Ripple share, connect. If you click on connect here, you will get one PowerShell script. Okay. So let me show you. So this is how we should troubleshoot. Let me show you the troubleshooting methodologies. So since we are on Windows, click on this. Okay. And this is the PowerShell script that we have to run and see if I am able to access that shared folder or not. Since we don't have the operating system, guys, this is how the troubleshooting should be. Okay, I'm again repeating, since we don't have the operating system for the MI, okay, you have to check whether our file share, whatever I've created, is working fine or not, whether we have the connectivity or not. Okay, so let me copy this script. So I'm getting this script again. I will show you where I went. Storage accounts. Okay, and go to your file shares and click on your file share and click on connect. And this is Windows. If you're on Linux, you have to choose Linux. So I'm using this script that has been given by Microsoft. So copy this and run on the mission where we have the subscriber at least. Search. I will use PowerShell ISC because I'm a little more comfortable. Okay, so let me copy that script. And I'll remove this and see if the connection is happening successfully to that share or not from this mission. So, okay, it says already in use because yesterday night I didn't dismount this or disconnect this. So it is got disconnected, and let's now run it again. So it is working fine. I'm able to map that file share to this VM and as a Z drive. So I'm able to access this. See, from VM, I'm able to access. So then I have proper permissions, right? Then what should I do? Where should be our next troubleshooting step? What should be our next troubleshooting step? 1 second, guys. Just hold on. I'll just come back.
Go to the publisher.
I'm back. Anyone who knows the answer? What should I do?
Go to the replication monitor.
Replication monitor,
You
yes.
check the public properties. The snapshot path we have given properly.
Yeah, it is there. I'll show you now. Let me go to the properties and go to the snapshot location. So it is showing me the correct path, pass MI store, and this is the file share that I map now as Z drive, and able to access this file share from the SQL VM subscriber. I mean to say, it's not exactly equivalent to our on-premises. That's why I said there are few things that you have to understand. Okay, now where is the problem? Even the mapping is working fine, and somehow I'm getting some error with snapshot. As you can clearly see, this script is working fine, and I'm able to map also.
So Vamsi, the distributor is on subscriber or is it on publisher?
Let me show you. So where do you think it is there? By looking at the picture, can you say where it is? By looking at the jobs,
MI.
it is there on MI. Okay, so
Yes.
we are
Okay,
using
so it's
push
a
on
pull subscription.
push, 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 push.
Okay, sorry. So MI is publisher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how it looks. It's not easy. So what we have to do? So what we can do is, since again we are placing our snapshot files on a file share, right? I kept all my snapshot related stuff on a file share inside my storage account. So I'm mapping this, and if you see here in the script, they are checking on the port 445, right? See the script. This is the script from Microsoft. I am not creating any scripts. So they are first testing if the port is open on that or not. It is working fine from here, but what is my MI? It is my publisher and distributor, right? So I have to check the port 445 on my MI. So where can I check 445 since I don't have the operating system for MI?
Firewall configuration.
So there is no such thing like firewall, but we have network security groups for MI. Okay, let me go to the network security groups. Okay, I have to create one rule for 445 in real time. Also, I'm saying I didn't work in real time, but still the concepts is what you should understand, guys. It's not about doing in real time or not. Okay, so you have to create one port. You have to allow that port 445 for your communication to happen. If you don't allow that, it will never work. You have to create this. So I intentionally blocked it. I said deny, but I'm saying allow now. But anyways, I'm choosing source as any and destination as any, but in the real time, it should be properly mentioned here. The source should not be any, and you have to open the relevant port ranges and all. Okay, so let me dock this to top and click on save. So I have to do this for my outbound and inbound. Save. And once it gets saved, then I will be able to create the snapshot. Let me go here. Is it saved or still taking time? It got saved.
This
Fine.
port has given Azure.
Sorry.
This 445 port number has given by Azure. Like
No, this is standard ports. When you are working with file shares, it has to be 445. This is standard port, guys. I mean, given by Azure, but I don't know whether you know about IANA series, the Internet Authority numbering, Internet Assigned Numbering Authority. They have given 3 types of ports: standard ports, ephemeral ports, and dynamic ports. So 445 is a standard port. It's not defined by Azure. For any file share communication, this is the default port. Just like SMTP port, we have 25, and FTP we have 22, right? In the similar fashion, we have 445. Let me go again and let me run the snapshot agent this time. start the agent, and it should work now as expected. Let's see, action, refresh. So it is connecting. Let's hopefully it should work. Yeah, it's done now. So it got generated, and eventually I will get the data on my subscriber. Ripple talk, I just created one row. It will definitely it will appear over there. So if you want, I will show you there. Okay, let me go. Sorry, Ripple talk. Ripple talk is the one. So that one row should appear now. See that one row I truncated, but now it is appearing. Questions? And
So our
yeah.
our normal DMV is also working here.
DMVs, which DMVs?
Like SP replication command and replication
Few DMVs.
errors and
Yeah, distribution database. If you view, if I think deep replication, they don't have any predefined DMVs. We have one or two, but it's all views, not DMVs. We have views within the distribution database. That will work. That should work because they have created the distribution. It should work. And guys, again, since I am coming from the same mission, I mean to say I'm coming from the same VNet to that of MI. It's very easy to configure. But if you are coming from different VNets in real time, you have to configure so many things. Okay. So if you see here, this is about VNet peering. You have to configure VNet peering, and you have to create private DNS zones again. Okay, and there are so many things. If you want all these things, if you want to understand all this stuff, definitely I'm going to show in my classes, in my training. So I'm going to cover all these things, because my intention is you have to understand each and every step that is related to MI. MI is not very similar to on-premises. As I said, there are so many things. You have to understand so many concepts. I will just give you one thing, and if you are able to tell me, if you are able to answer that, then I will say you are good at MI, not just MI, Azure. I'll show you that. I'll just throw the question now. Let me open my Azure virtual machines, which are in another resource group and another VNet. This guy, just now what we are working is in the same VNet, but this mission, Azure DC SQL, is in different resource group and different VNet. I have the peering in place already. Let me show you that. So this is my SQL machine in another VNet. So this is the VNet I'm talking about. And if you see the peering, it has peering to pass MI. So peering is there. Peering is there. Okay, and I've created all the steps what they have mentioned, like DNS zones and all. This is all about internal, guys, DNS and all. You have to understand, because we are on Azure world. So if you say I don't know about DNS, then you will be again a normal DBA. You cannot be a different DBA. You have to know this. Okay, so let me go. Let me start this. Start Azure DC also. I'll just say start. And this mission is also part of work group only. It's not part of any domains. So yeah, this mission got started. So let me grab the public IP. No, Azure
Is
DC.
vice versa is possible, like from Azure VM to like Azure ML replication?
That is what we did, right? I selected Azure VM as publisher and distributed, and I've chosen subscriber as MI.
No, reverse, like Azure MI is the publisher. Like.
Sorry?
Azure MI is the publisher.
That is what we are doing now. Azure MI is the publisher, Azure MI is the distributor, and virtual machine is the subscriber. Just now we did that. If you are good, I will just throw you one question. Just wait, guys. It's almost done. I will finish off the session. This is another mission, and both my VNets are paired. I will show you. If I go to my virtual networks, this VNet is paired with MI. If you see, where can I show you that? peer link name to Azure AD. I said, okay, you will not find this from here. Peerings from MI to MI. So, okay, if you see here, pass VNet, read this carefully, peerings. So the peer mission is, peer VNet is Azure AD VNet for this pass VNet. Pass VNet is a location where I have my MI and it is peered to Azure AD VNet. And if I go to Azure AD VNet, it is peered with pass VNet. So both the missions, both the virtual networks are peered. Okay. And let me go to my mission. And let me go to, this is my SQL mission, guys. And let's try to connect, let's see if the connection is happening to my MI from this SQL mission, which is in another VNet, even though they are peered. Okay, this is test-net connection. TNC stands for test-net connection. So let me copy the MI. Where is MI? This one. This is the private endpoint. We have two types again in MI. Okay, and on the port 1433. So as of now, it is connecting. Okay, but I just deleted this, right? So it will take some time. 1 second. Config slash. It is taking this one. Okay. Okay, thing is that, guys, it will not work because we have to do something at the DNS level for this to work. Again, even though if they are peered also, it will not work. So we have to create one conditional forwarder on the Azure side, Azure DC machine, then only it will work. It is working now because I just deleted, and since we operated something at DNS level, it will take a few minutes for the replication to work. I mean to say DNS, even in real time, if you create a username or password, so they will ask you to wait 15 minutes, right? Because the DNS will take some time to replicate across the zones. In the similar fashion, it is working fine now, actually the connection, but usually this connection also will not work. It will fail, but as of now it is working because it will take some time for it to get reflected. If you want, if I want to work this, if I want to make this work, I have to create some conditional forwarders. So there are so many internal things that are tied up. As a DBA, you should know. So this is not the same way to that of on-prem, and many things are tied with DNS and Active Directory. I'm repeating, many things are tied with DNS and Active Directory. If you're comfortable with this, even if this refer the Microsoft article, I'm not coming from some other place, some other world. If you see here, see the steps. They are saying to create the DNS record, create the A record, link the virtual networks. All these are not cakewalk for DBS. It's not our daily work, right? This is completely different. But if if you want our replication to work as expected, then you have to do all these things. Going forward, our future will be MI. I'm repeating again, definitely I can say many companies will go with MI. And if you're comfortable with MI, you can just rock. That's the difference, guys. So you have to catch up with the competitive world, and you have to know these advanced topics. Okay, so I just shared the knowledge of what I have. If you are okay, if you have no questions, I will leave off. So see the steps. These are the steps. Peering, DNS zones. You might have a question like, why should I create all these things? It will be done by our respective Windows teams or network teams or whatever it is. But if you don't have proper understanding on these topics, if you get any errors, since we don't have the operating system control, it's hard to troubleshoot. That's the point here. You might say, okay, I don't need this stuff. It's fine. You don't need, but if you get some errors, you'll not be able to resolve them. Okay, any questions?
So it allows all type of application. I'm just say merge and
It will allow only snapshot, transactional, and transactional bidirectional. Merge and peer is not being supported. If you see here, this is the support matrix for MI. So merge replication is not supported for MI, and peer-to-peer is not supported.
okay, updatable subscription also is not supported.
No,
Okay.
it's not there.
Also, we can generate the The snapshot with only adding one table here also, is that supported?
That is there. That is
Okay.
publication property. So it should not be an issue. I don't think so. Even though I'm doing it graphically, this is just a demo, but it should allow. There should not be any problem. Any other questions? Sorry. That's what, guys. So no, if there are more questions. So,
Vamshi,
yeah.
is this online? Vamshi, have a question.
Yeah.
Is this online transactional? How it will be like? Migration should be an online. Like, is there any
This is not
application downtime
migration.
required?
This is not migration. This is just to show you how to configure. But if you feel this like kind of migration, first thing in real time, do you think we have primary keys for all the tables? Just think. So
No,
usually,
it is not there.
yeah. So it will be,
Yes.
as you know, transactional replication only works if you have primary key. But in real time, there is no such hard rule
Yes.
that we should have primary keys for all the tables.
And that too, it is dealing only in the Azure Managed Instance, only tables. But what about store procedure?
I don't
functions,
use
views?
replication as the migration methodology. I have some other techniques. There are so many migration techniques that we should know. So I will use the other techniques. I will never go with replication. It's not required unless if there is no other go for me. I'm not saying that I should not use replication at all. If at all there is no other go, then I might think of replication. There are so many migrations, guys. So I'm not self-boasting, but I'm going with too many concepts. I'm sharing so many things here that you will not get anywhere. I'm repeating, you will not get anywhere. So my only intention is to drive this training for all the people with the modest price so that everyone can afford, and even for me, it will be of less cost. So MI will take 5,000 rupees per day. If you don't believe, if you see even the cost, I'll show you mine. So just a second, it will get loaded. It is eating up the money like anything, but I'm still taking that up just because I can share the knowledge. And if the more people join, see, it already now it is 500 euros, means 40,000. It will cost me 1 lakh per month. 1 lakh, literally 1 lakh. You will not be able to create MIs with your free subscription. It has to be pay as you go. So that's the reason I'm going to cover so many things with this training, so that I can learn a lot and I can show them at the same time. That is the main intention. Anyways, I'm stopping, and yeah.
One question. The same thing is possible now from MI to on-premises application setup.
MI to on-prem.
Yeah, replication setup.
MI to on-prem is what we did just now. Even though it is Azure VM, we can do it for on-premise also. It's one at the same. I mean, you just need
same process.
It's same process, but you have to know different concepts again. The DNS would differ in on-prem, and I have that setup also. I could have done that, but I didn't show you. I don't have time. So this is my on-prem, where I have 3 missions and I have different domains also. This is my domain controller, and these are my SQL missions. And the way it works from Azure VMs is slightly different. Yeah, but most of the things are same. Most of the things are same, but there are few differences. Okay, there are few differences. If you want, there is one article on tech community page where they will show you different errors. They will not show you how to create. So if you want to create, you have to configure express route and site to site. In my classes, I'm making use of site to site. So that's how it works. It's different. Okay, guys, take care and catch you all next time. If I have any demos, I will definitely share.
Vamshi, can you post this video in that group in the YouTube?
Yeah, I will post this on YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
I will post along with the questions. There are so many questions that I can ask. I mean, not me, the interviewer can ask. So I will post the relevant interview questions also, so that you can make use of them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.